I don't know what, you get a wild hair up your ass, and I decided that this light that had been out over the stove, the one that goes, the microwave is above the stove, and I'm actually going to put a picture of this. We're going to put a picture on social media, and but the microwave goes over the stove, and then there's a light that attaches to the bottom of the microwave that shines over the stove and it lights up the stove. Well, this thing's been out for like a year. And right when it went out, I undid the little screw, and I go to get the light bulb out, and the light bulb just falls out. What had happened is it had not rotted, but corroded right out of the socket. So the socket was stuck up in there, and this thing's hanging out. And at the time, I remember going, I'm not going to deal with this.
That's got to be very common for something like that, because you steam from your pots and pans.
Oh, yeah, all the cooking and moisture that goes up.
Grease and stuff, yeah.
So there we go. We're sitting there, and the light bulb's out, and my wife goes, well, let's just call our landlord. I'm not calling our landlord over a light bulb.
I'm in the same boat with you on
I'll
this
get
one.
to this.
I mean...
Yeah, I try to not bother him as much as possible.
Because you're going to keep your rent down. It's like making a claim on your insurance.
And he's a great landlord because, like, for example, we had some trees that were hanging over our driveway on the neighbor's property, and it's a homeowner type situation. And I asked him, last week if he knew their number, because I wanted to call them so they could trim their trees, because they were literally starting to rub the top of my truck when I drove through. And so he just comes over and just saws it all up and takes it away. I mean, I'm like, wow, that's awesome. But at the same time, I'm like, I didn't want him to do that because I'm not trying to get him to,
have a reason to raise your rent.
Right.
I've talked with homeowners that rent, and they hold off on selling their house because they have somebody that is good.
A good tenant
in there. And
it doesn't bother them.
It doesn't bother me. It's perfect. It's a perfect situation. Then as soon as that person decides to move out, they sell their house.
So anyways. So I get in there, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to try to do this. So then I'm up underneath there, and I've got to stick my arm all the way back up by the wall and reach up in this thing. And I'm like, okay, well, the button's off, but I'm like sticking my finger in there. I'm going to get shocked. So then I get some needle nose, and I'm trying to get it undone. I'm like, this is not working. So then I look up underneath there, and I see, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 screws, and I got my Ryobi
for one.
No. This is the whole bottom of the whole thing.
But you got to take the whole
of
thing
the microwave,
out.
The whole plate.
You've got to take the whole thing out.
The ventilation, the light bulb, the whole thing. I got to take 10 screws out. So I got my Ryobi, the screw gun drill.
Yeah.
I love that thing. God, I love that thing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I'll do this in no time. So I'm in there. Didn't lose any of the little screws. Put them all in the cup. I'm like, oh, but they're just covered. As soon as I take them out, grease starts falling through these little holes. I bring the thing down. Oh my God. You would have thought that was my olive oil storage. It was just full of grease.
Yeah.
And our vent system has never worked that well. Well, somebody lived in this house 4 years before I did, and I've now lived in it 5 years, and this has probably never been cleaned. So then I'm like, well, gosh, here I go. Now I'm like, oh, the vent is actually above this. So above the microwave, there's a facade thing that you have to take off. And then and I'm pulling filters out, and I'm like, oh my God, this is about 10 years worth of grease that is piled up. And it took me 2 hours to change the light bulb, long story short.
Now,
I had to pull everything off.
Did you clean everything?
I took the whole damn thing down practically. I didn't take the microwave down, but I took everything out of the top, everything out of the bottom. I soaked it all in dish soap and degreaser and cleaned it all. And yeah, it's like brand new now. I mean, there was an electric panel box, like a metal fascia, whatever you call those. And it was just, had like vents, and there was just grease and just, whatever particles just...
Does your landlord subscribe to the podcast? Should, for your sake, because I mean you took care of a lot of maintenance for him by doing that.
Yeah. No, I doubt he does. I wish he did, but he doesn't. So yeah, I was like, wow. So my wife comes home and she sees the new light, and she's like, oh, cool, you put a light bulb in there. What else did you do today? Like, dude, no, you don't understand. Like, this was a huge project that got away from me. So we're asking you online, what was the last DIY project that took you way longer than you thought it would? I mean, I went in there to change a light bulb, and I had to go to the hardware store.
Do something that took 15 minutes tops, and you ended up spending 2 hours plus on it.
But are you putting the picture up, or should I share it?
I'll put the picture up with the post.
Okay, good. I want everybody to see that I got the light bulb.
And I want your landlord to see it too. Is he on Facebook? I want to make sure to share it to his page.
Yeah, he's a big time Facebook guy. Anyways, you could call in, you can text 805-543-3693. Amy wrote in and she said buffing and cleaning my headlight covers on the car or the headlights.
Oh yeah, they'll sell you a kit. It's like
$40.
$40.
I think I paid $39 at
This is where
one of the parts stores.
This is where Harbor Freight comes into. I've seen it for sale there for less than 10. Well, I don't know if it's going to work.
This was a solution and sandpaper and the buffing stuff, and I mean it was everything. All you need to do is a little bucket with water, and you're supposed to do two different types of wet sanding on it, and then you use the buffing material. And then if you have a buffer, great. If you don't, you have to do it by hand.
I believe that's what.
And I paid $39 for that.
Oh, sucker! Should have went to Harbor Freight.
Well, the Harbor Freight wasn't here when I did.
Harbor Freight should buy this show. Because
we're very big fans.
We're big fans,
and they play KZFZ at the store too. I noticed.
When I was in we don't see a single dime from our fandom.
Yeah, really. This could be the Harbor Freight Studios. They really could be. At least until 10 o'clock.
Attention, attention, Camarillo. Listen up.
So she's like, that was such a pain in the ass. I remember I went out and I did it. This was my old Passat, and it had, just like a lot of cars from, the 2000s, it has those headlights that after a while, they kind of get just orangish, yellowish, and you kind of lose visibility at night because, the light can't penetrate through as well.
Which,
and
by the way, never used to happen. When you had the old square or circle glass ones that you'd plop in there. You'd buy
Can you really tell me that people's headlights were breaking so much they went to this bulletproof plastic they put on there now?
It's because it's
cheaper?
No. It ends up costing you more in the end. Because you remember when you'd buy a replacement light bulb for the square, the standard square, the standard circle, whatever car you had.
Right.
It would cost you about $10.
If that, $6. I remember buying a light bulb.
You bought a headlight replacement on the cheap. On the cheap in most vehicles now, it's around $20. Now I know some of that is accounted for with inflation, but also if you look at some cars, like my wife's old car, the Volkswagen, you would have to pay a guy to go in there because you have to take apart so much stuff underneath the hood to get to the area in which you need to change the light bulb that they're like, oh, yeah, we'll change your light bulb. It'll be $120.
To change the light bulb.
Wait. When I had the Mustang 2, it was like $599.
Yeah. So anyways, it's a big pain in the ass. And so what I ended up doing was I went to a local business, Sunset Car Wash. There's a few of them around here. And I went to the one here in Slow. And I took it there, and I think it was like $45. And 45 minutes later, it looked like they had put in brand new lenses, brand new headlights. They did a great job.
Yeah, they do a phenomenal job.
They have all the equipment, and they do it, and they have a package for it, and
And if you want to get on board to sponsor with the folks at Harbor Freight, feel free.
I know we're giving a lot out here, but it's totally worth it because it'll make your car look good again. I have a friend he's got a little bit older car, but it's in great shape, and his headlights are brownish orange and yellow, and it's like, God, it's so ugly. Now,
it's hard to see.
Drea wrote it. She said I don't know if this is true or not. I've heard this. It's probably an urban legend, but you can use toothpaste. She said it took her 10 minutes. She did it on a was it a Volkswagen? Yeah, Volkswagen.
Do we have any toothpaste here? Let's go out to your friend's car and try it. No, I mean, is it going to hurt? No.
I don't have any toothpaste here. What, you think I carry toothpaste?
Well,
do you carry toothpaste?
You are married to a woman that works in a dentist office.
You know what? I might have toothpaste in my truck.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you might have some on board.
We're going to go look right now. And I'm going to take this because I think she's full of crap. And I think all these people will say, oh yeah, just use toothpaste. And you just rub it on, rub it off, when you have to take it to a detail shop and they use wet sand it.
You don't have to.
And then they buff it.
Didn't you just tell me that you have to spend $40 on it? And I said you could buy it for less than $10 at Harbor Freight, especially if you have that.
And do it yourself.
20% off coupon.
But I worked on it for 90 minutes and nothing. I mean, it was barely better. It was a little better, but it wasn't nearly like what I thought I wanted it to be. 805-543-3693. Your do-it-yourself project.
I think the thing to do would be go to Sunset car wash and look in their cabinets and see if they've got any toothpaste on board. That'll tell you the truth.
Maybe that's good. Mosquito spray works good for headlights. Oh, I don't have any of that, but thank you,
Off?
Brad. Yeah, like Deepwood's off. DEET. That was the good stuff.
So off.
The more DEET, the better.
Off and toothpaste is better than buying that $40
I'm going to go
kit.
Look right now because we
Do you
got
have
a
any
break,
off in your car?
and I'm going to go.
You're
no,
a fisherman?
I don't have any off in my truck.
What?
No.
You're not a real fisherman then.
You don't need mosquitoes. We don't have mosquito issues
I know.
around
We're
here.
lucky.
But make sure you use high DEET. Yeah, okay. Yeah, the DEET is the best stuff. I think I got some DEET at home, though.
Wait, isn't DEET bad for the environment?
Yes.
This is the same person that pitches no styrofoam cups to me on a regular basis?
I could not believe that just worked. That is very impressive. We just took some regular old Crest that my wife gave me, or that I got at the dentist office, one of those little samples they give you, and we put it on a cloth, and we went down there and polished up 2 different parts of the headlight, and it really works. James, I take back everything I said, Andrea. Nice work.
No, I don't understand this. James writes in response to the video. He says, if you get your headlights polished by any means, they will quickly become hazy again because the haze is caused by UV and environmental effects breaking down the material. Total waste of time and effort unless it is just to make the car easier to sell. Okay, what do you suggest we do if we want to see clearer, though, James? I mean, you have to do it. You have to polish it. You can't
I don't know.
Not polish it for the sake of not polishing it.
No, just do it again. Because how long did that take us?
That took us, the
Seconds.
video's 3 minutes and we're goofing off in the video. If I really wanted
doing car guy voices.
Yeah, brass tacks. I really wanted to get this done. I'd do it quicker than it takes me to check my oil on my car.
And if you have like a polisher, if you have a polisher,
but you don't need one.
You could use that, and that would just save you some elbow grease. And
if you're like Mike and you have no muscle strength whatsoever, who says he's tried it and it didn't work, then call Jeremy and he'll come and do it for you.
Now, what you don't see on the video is my buddy that owns that car happened to be down there by his car. I have no idea why he's in the parking lot. And when he came out, and he's like, "Oh, you got to do the whole thing." I'm like, "No, I'm not doing the whole thing." I go, "Here, I'm doing you a favor. Here, I'll give you the toothpaste."
We'll see if it works, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Check it out. By the way, we just did that video. If you want to take that fog off of your headlights, the lenses when they get all milky, you just use a little toothpaste. Today we use Crest. I don't know. I'm sure Colgate or any of the other toothpaste would work just fine on them.
Why don't toothpaste companies harness that message? Because do you feel like a sucker for spending $40 on a kit now?
No, $80. I spent $40 at the parts store. I gave up after 90 minutes of wet sanding and polishing and all this crap. And then I took it down to the car wash place. They're hating us right now. They were loving us 10 minutes ago. They're like, "Ooh, you're talking about Sunset Car Wash and our lens polishing deal for $50." And now we're like, "No, just get some toothpaste." They should put on the toothpaste box other uses for toothpaste, and they should just have little bullet points because that would save a lot of people time and effort. Wow.
Cleans your teeth and also cleans your headlights, whitens and clears your headlights. Every toothpaste manufacturer should do that.
Hope we don't get sued by the car guys.
Which car guys?
The car guys. They do this kind of stuff all the time. They're like, "Hey, man, they're ripping off our stuff." Just Google the car guys.
Oh, the car guys? Is it like a radio show?
It's like a radio show, yeah, and they probably do this kind of, I don't know. I don't listen to them, but I'm sure they do this kind of stuff. Anyways, you can see this video on our Facebook page at Jeff and Jeremy.
Jeremy was a sucker, and he bought a $40 kit. Then, when that $40 kit didn't work,
I took it to the detail shop.
Took it to the detail shop and spent $40 for them to clear up the headlights when really all he had to do was go get some, what's it called? Sensa-Clean or something? To Crest, whatever. Probably any toothpaste would work, I would imagine. But this is, and we both agree that the person's headlights that we were cleaning are some of the worst that we've ever seen. In fact, on a daily basis, whenever I walk by that person's car,
you're like, "That's a nice looking car. Too bad those headlights make it look like crap."
Yes, I'm like, God, man, it looked like bug eyes, like the Fly, like Jeff Goldblum when he turned into the Fly.
Now, James wrote in and he says this is just a temporary fix and it doesn't work that well. We have a gentleman on the line that wanted to weigh in on that. Go ahead.
Hey, good morning. Hey, the whole headlight thing it's a great thing. It's a temporary fix. That one guy that just wrote in, he's absolutely right. It's just a temporary thing. But a lot of people are under the misconception, and I'm in the business, that the headlights are extremely expensive because they call the dealer. The dealer says it's $400 to replace headlights. But if you were to go to an aftermarket company like a Napa store, preferably the one in Paso, you could actually.
That's where my friend Leonard works.
But you can get headlights for $50, $60 and just replace the whole thing. So, and that's the lens, not the bulb.
Okay.
You can buy a complete unit. It just depends on. I just recently did my motorhome, and I got it from Napa in Paso, and I think I paid in total like $70. It took me a half hour to replace both headlights.
And does the unit include a complimentary headlight? Because the headlights can be kind of pricey.
It has bulbs in it. It has bulbs in it. It has brand new lenses, new everything.
Now, when I went to the detail shop and they buffed it out and they wet sanded and buffed it out, that is not a temporary. That is something that is going to last a long time because you're just
I tell you what. I'll give you my phone number. You call me in 6 months and tell me if it's a temporary or if it's permanent.
No, I had the car for 2 years after that, dude. I'm telling you right now, I had it done, and I sold it 2 years later, and they were still look like brand new lights. It's just I don't know about the toothpaste thing. You're saying the toothpaste thing is a temporary fix, but when you actually wet sand something, you actually cut through that oxidation to brand new plastic, so it's like brand new again. And then of course you're supposed to wax it to seal it in. I used to detail cars.
Yeah,
I used to detail cars for Napa.
Dude, settle down.
I used to detail cars for a living, Napa. Put my way through college. Oh, good for you. Well, then you should know. You shouldn't be bringing this ignorant.
Hey, how'd this turn into a pissing match between car detailers?
Let me stand up and piss on your leg real quick. Hey, I can tell you right now, for example, I can tell you right now that I detail cars. I did about 1,000 cars a week. So there's no way that you know more than me on detailing.
Okay, number one, it is impossible to detail 1,000 cars a week, all right? Now we know you're a liar.
When you have 15 people, I have 15 employees. 15 employees that do it. I have 5 different locations up in the Bay Area. I still have it today. Go to 5-Star Auto Polishing.
Yet you work at Napa Auto Parts.
How many?
Yet you work at Napa Auto Parts, but you own 15 car dealerships.
Who said Napa Auto? I don't work there.
Oh, okay.
I didn't say car dealerships. I said that I got it from Napa. I didn't realize how cheap it was. It's actually cheaper to do the right thing, which is put on new lights and not polish them because they don't last as long as you said. 2 years is bullshit.
Well, no, it did work for 2 years, and then I sold the car.
And to be honest with you,
you sold the car, but they were not brand new looking. I guarantee you.
No, they were.
There's no way.
They polished them right up. They look great. They did them right here at the detail shop.
1,000 cars a week.
You did it. They look great.
Yeah,
2
he
years
says
later,
he does.
Though, they didn't.
You don't see there's 5 different detail
shops. Look on my
shops.
website. 5-Star.
There's the plug.
There it is.
There's the plug.
There it is. There it is.
I'm glad you got it in there.
No, I beeped it.
Well, we all have opinions, right? And so,
why are you so worked up, dude? I'm messing with you.
Because you
Why
come
so
at people like a bulldog. You sound like an a-hole.
He sounds like an
No, I know. That's what I'm saying, Lenny. I'm actually jumping to your defense on this one. Jeremy's got to get all in there. Well, when I was 16, I used to work at an auto dealership.
Yeah, I'm just messing with you,
I know how to detail cars.
Dude, you're getting all worked up. I'm just messing with you.
You're wrong. I'm just a passionate person.
Okay, regardless, okay? Temporary fix or not, if you could go out there and do it in 2.5 minutes, why not just keep doing it? Why not do it once a week?
Like when you wash your car.
Yeah, okay. Let's say, how many times are you going to do it in the 2 years?
The amount of
and then how much does that cost versus a brand new headlight?
Well, no, I understand. Listen.
That's my point. I sell it all day long. My crew still does it today. They polish them.
Right.
But if the layman, and I'm trying to help this little small town that I'm passing through, I'm telling you right now, it's cheaper to just replace the headlights.
No, I got you on this. I listen. Great. Thank you for sharing the secret of the trade. But what I'm saying is, if I have toothpaste in the bathroom. I have toothpaste sitting there. I'm
get it at the dollar store.
I'm using it for my teeth anyways. You get it for free every time you go to the dentist.
Right.
Every 6 months I get a free
give me
tube
two of
it.
those. Give me 2 of those.
And I'm like, hey, next time I'm there, I'm going to say, give me one for my headlights too.
It's like...
So what are you going to just polish with a rag, or are you using a buffer, or are you using
we used the micro... in the video that's over on our Facebook page, we used the microfiber cloth, and it worked remarkably well.
Within
and
seconds.
we spent zero time on it. I mean, you spend a little bit of extra time on it, it'd probably be even better.
I mean, can I put tire dressing on my tires, or do I have to go buy new tires every week?
No, you can put tire dressing, but it does make it crack. I mean, it does have oil in it, and you're adding oil to a rubber concept.
Dude,
I mean, it's fine with me.
I think you're killing your industry right now with all these.
Well, no, but
I would be quiet.
my industry's in the Bay Area where people have got millions of dollars that they don't care spending $200 for a detail. They don't.
Not us, Poe.
Wait, you know what?
Not us, Poe Hicks down here on the Central Coast.
Yeah, I know.
This is money too.
This rings true of
This
Bay
has got a
Area
lot of
people,
money,
right? This guy sounds like such an arrogant jerk from the Bay Area.
I'm not from the Bay Area. That's the funny thing. Whatever. I'm from here.
He just went up there to make money.
This has been,
There's no money on the Central Coast, right?
Someone gets the picture.
No money on this hick town. I guarantee you.
This call made my day.
There is a lot of money in this hick town. And that's why I'm back down here taking a look at my competition. I mean, I might just do something here, and I'll come over and I'll do both of you guys' cars, and I'll show you what I'm talking about.
I have a new. I don't need one. Mine doesn't have an issue. But Lenny, is it Lenny?
Benny.
Benny. Oh, Benny.
Oh, okay.
Benny, thanks for calling in. Benny the buffer.
Hey, man, God bless you, man.
God bless you, Benny.
Oh, it ends with a God bless you. I love that.
And then hangs up quickly.
Nailed it.
Bill says this guy is an ass monkey and needs to shut the F up. All right. Thank you very much, Bill.
Oh, what, Bill? Truth hurts a little bit? Come on. You know we live in a hick town, bro.
Hi, what did you want to say? You're on the air.
Hey, so the problem is with these headlights is they stopped making them out of glass.
Yes, we were talking about that earlier. Thank you. Appreciate it. Hi, go ahead. What did you want to say?
Glass used to be a lot cheaper than plastic.
Are you there? Okay, looks like we lost that person.
Not the case
anymore. That was
Benny.
Lenny the Benny, and he decided not to continue on. Interesting guy. It is interesting that he has how many? 10 auto polishing dealerships? Or whatever you want to call them, auto detail shops, 15, and he does 1,000 cars a week, yet he's telling people not to go, have a detail shop do the lights, to just go replace them.
Go buy them at Napa.
It's just such a nice thing.
It's a good hack. I mean, if you really, truly want it to be new and last. I mean, you know what? I mean, let's be honest with it, though. Like I told Benny, yeah, but I could go out there and polish it all the time. I'm the type of guy that would go out and polish it all the time. If you're not the type of person that wants to do that,
then you go buy a new light.
You can go buy a new light for $50.
But I'm telling you, I went to the Sunset and it lasted until I sold the car. They looked just as good as they did the day they were put on the car. Because when you wet sand something, whether it's paint or plastic or whatever, you're cutting through that oxidation.
You worked at a car dealership.
And then you buff it out to get those scratches out.
When you were 16,
and then you seal it in with wax.
Car dealership.
Well, I'm just telling you, it's just a fact. That's how it works.
Okay, sure. Sure thing.
Hey, why don't we come back and give away some Billy Idol tickets? Thanks for listening to that. That was fun.
Aren't you going to tell people
I made my day.
The best way to win those Billy Idol tickets because you
is to listen and stay with us.
Heard a Billy Idol song when you were 10?
Listen.
Subscribe to the Jeff and Jeremy podcast now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, and YouTube. It's your Central Coast commute-friendly podcast.